What is up, guys? I don't know where I left off in these videos because it's been probably 6 months or so since I recorded anything. But anyway, here's the engine rebuilt. Pretty much the only thing that was reused was the block, the heads. I mean, all the main components: the intake, the exhaust manifold, the crank, and I guess the pistons and connecting rods. But all new bearings, new cam, rings, everything's machined, of course. But anyway, it's nice and freshened up. Just a stock rebuild. I got these because I couldn't find any of the old style. Everything was all caked with oil and stuff, like the old valve cover gaskets in the old pan. So I got new those. But these are pretty cool, I think. I like them. The only issue is it doesn't clear the one port for the AC compressor. I started to hit it a little with the grinder, but I don't really want to mess with it. I was debating on just even not running AC anyway. So what I could do is swap this out for another one if I can find one, get a junkyard one or something, and then get the AC charged, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. So what I'm doing, finally getting my pilot bearing in here. And my flywheel is going to go on, and I'll put the crank sensor on too. So I just cleaned this out quick with a wire brush attachment for my drill. It fit perfectly, so I took all the corrosion that was in there out. It looks great. And put a little grease on the edge of this. Assuming this tapered side goes in first. I guess it doesn't really matter, but that would make sense to me. Numbers on the outside. This is actually a bushing or spacer, I guess they call it. And then the actual pilot bearing is there in the middle. So I'm just gonna tap this in. All right, that went in real easy. Just used a socket, a big socket, and tapped it in. I got the flywheel started. Basically, I could put it on underneath because I can't torque it now. It's just gonna move all over and it's just gonna be a pain. So I basically just placed it on there, put my ARP bolts in, just not even hand tight, just started. I put the lubricant under the head, and here's your part number. But I put that lubricant under the head, and then I'll use Loctite later when I actually go down and torque it. I'll see if my sensor fits, my crank sensor. I read that they're different between the old, well, the manual and auto, but when I compared them earlier, it seems the same, looks identical in dimensions and stuff. So I'm gonna try to get it on now, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like then. Here you can see the pilot bearing and bushing. Tap that in real easy, not bad. And the friction disc is on here. All right, here she is. Clutch is in. Got my tool here. Nice and smooth. So hopefully the trans goes in pretty easily. I got the sensor in up here, my crank sensor. That went in pretty easily, actually. All right, let's see this crank sensor. Try to. All right, you can sort of see it there. So there is clearance, so obviously that's good. So yeah, here's my flywheel. Here's our little notches, what the crank sensor reads off of. And got the pressure plate on, the clutch disc in there. And this is I got it on a Rock Auto, but it was supposedly a heavy duty clutch, or medium duty, I guess. I think it said it could hold like 20% more torque than factory or something like that. So gotta throw my oil filter in. Trans is pretty much the next thing to go in. Then I can make the exhaust and stuff. So yeah, that's it for now. Here's the clutch all installed. You can see I have new grade 8 bolts. I had to buy them because they didn't come with a new clutch. Got the trans kind of lined up here, about to go in with the tranny jack. Now you can finally see where the shift tower comes up, right in the front there. Had a problem here clearing the factory manifold with the new starter. I forget if I mentioned it before, but I pulled off the ignition coil wire and the fuel pump relay. So I'm pretty much just gonna crank it and get the oil pressure built up, or at least hope to. So let's see if it'll even try. Well, tried. The battery's shot, so that might be why it's not doing anything. So, engine's in. There's my starter. Yes, there's no headers on it because the factory Jeep one comes right down where the connector goes on the starter, which I didn't realize. I knew it'd be close, but I thought there'd be enough room. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to make some headers, but I got my new wires run up along the top here. So here's the trigger wire for the starter, the green one that goes around, and then the power, obviously. So no belt on. There is oil on it, the oil filter's on, and right now I'm basically just gonna see if it'll fire. So besides this, of course, the tranny's in. Looks great. Need to make a mount, all that stuff, but yeah, so here's my neutral safety switch, which is going to go to the clutch pedal. I just haven't done it yet because I want to see if it'll actually start before I continue with everything else. All right, try number maybe 3 now. Had to get a new battery because the old battery was just completely shot, even with the charger on it. So now let's see what we can do. We're looking for oil pressure. And it says neutral, just because less drag, I guess. Alright, let's try again. There we go. A little pressure. Feel the pressure. Oh yeah, okay. Nice. I'll give it a couple seconds of a break here, and then I'll do one more try. Just make sure it's pressurized or whatever. And then try to fire it up. Alright, here's the loud moment of truth. Hopefully loud. Hey, it works. Here's a little close-up of how I cut out the hole for the shift tower. And then this is my TJ shift boot. Works great. Got the neutral safety switch hooked up to the clutch pedal now. So clutch not depressed. Clutch depressed. Kind of hard to see, but I ended up getting these eBay headers, which are pretty sick. They're all stainless, so you can get like a little glimpse of it, and it's a nice block hugger. And then here's my tranny mount I made up. It works with my old long arm setup. This bolts the tranny itself, 2 bolts. There it is with the poly mount in it. It's pretty nice actually. I like the setup. And all painted and installed. I just need to do a little clearance adjustment. The actual tranny part kind of hits the cross member a bit. So here's a little video now of the trans mount. It's a little closer to the exhaust, but there is room. There's clearance. But here's what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to see. They're right down there. It's really close. The metal to metal. So whenever I take it out next, I'll just grind it down a little bit. Just needs a hair more room. Swing over here. Yeah, this is annoying. These seals obviously don't seal well. I try to put some of this RTV around it. I know it looks terrible, but I thought that might prevent the leak. It didn't, so I'm gonna have to end up taking these off, and I'll probably get a new plate cut out with like 3/16 inch steel or something, so it's nice and rigid. But yeah, here we go. You guys sneak peek at the exhaust too. But worked out pretty nice. There's plenty of room for the drive shaft too. Well, that wraps up this section of the tranny swap. So if this helps you out at all, definitely subscribe to watch what's coming next. I gotta finish it up, or at least the video. So it actually is kind of finished now. But yeah, keep in touch and follow me on Instagram, Facebook at 4Link 4-Wheel Drive. And yeah, we'll see you next time.